And we are finally in the grand final. TeamLiquid going up against Gamers2. We have the Spanish team facing the Polish team here, and this is going to be good. So guys, get ready because we are gonna have a lot of fun here. The map again, Garden of Terror, the map choice of TeamLiquid. And TeamLiquid is actually playing something that I have not seen them play throughout the tournament thus far. They're going into a double healer composition with Illidan and Nuburak and have a very solid DPS hero behind them. They are going for Vala here. Gamers2, of course, they have to try to counteract that somehow, and this is just the start of a best of 5 series. So potentially we're going to see 5 maps between these two teams. Get ready for this one. Map number 2 starting us off here at the end of the Storm tournament. TeamLiquid going up against Gamers2.
The grand final, ladies and gentlemen, it is here. We have Garden of Terror, our first map in the best of 5 series. The Spanish team to the left side going up against Gamers2. The Polish team, it's their first game today. They could watch all the matches that TeamLiquid played already and prepare their strategies for this final series. Currently, to the left here on the map, we have TeamLiquid with Vortex on Malfurion, Black Scorp on Illidan, Gran Paquete playing Brightwing, and Nuburak played by Lucifer and Falcon on Vala. To the right side of the map it is the Polish team. Juve on Jaina, ADRD on Zagara this time, Shichu on Muradin, Leo from Poland on Uther, and Nika on Sylvanas. The grand final of the End of the Storm tournament. I'm Khaldor, with me is Sham2. We're going to bring you the coverage here with Gamers2 already laying a bit of a trap in the mid lane.
Yeah, but it looks like they're going to back up from that already. They're just going to be creeping around as they drop down those creep tumors. Zagara being played by that ADRD, I am already incredibly excited to watch that one because ADRD is so good at any role he plays, but Zagara, one of the more favored picks lately I've been noticing out of these tournaments, and I really want to watch just how much damage he can do with the Brood Mother, Zagara.
There's of course always a couple of things that you can do with the Zagara, and one of the builds that you have if you don't go for the rapid incubation on level 7, you can just use endless creep, which gives you a huge amount of map control and also vision, which is amazing considering that a lot of these small seed plants that we have are just like behind bushes, behind like small debris where you can't really look through, so moving into those and face checking them is a risk. If you have Zagara for the vision, that really helps. We're already seeing Zagara great laner, and currently she's positioned up at the top lane against Brightwing, but oh, damage here against Illidan in the mid lane, thanks to Shichu and Juve on Muradin and Jaina.
Yeah, Shihu is one of those really impressive tanks, always getting into the thick of every single team fight, and very good at being able to get in and out. The rotations from Gamers2 is always really impressive, but Shihu is obviously going to be the most impressive one out of that, because as a warrior, has to get in, has to get out. And it's very good. It's going to be easy, a little bit easier for him playing Muradin, of course, because now he's got that leap to get in and out.
Very interesting to see that both of the teams are very cautious when it comes to picking up seeds. Usually you try, or oftentimes we see that a team tries to steal seeds away from their opponents. This time they don't even go for the attempt. They're just saying, okay, we're going to play it safe, we're going to take the small seed camps on our side of the map and going to ignore the other ones. And therefore it's an even split right now, 30-30. We're having level 4 hitting a bit faster for the Polish team now, and they are using a double Envenom on Jaina and Sylvanas. So Jaina not going for Arcane Intellect, nor for Snowstorm here.
Yeah, and you know what? Not picking up that Arcane Intellect is okay, because if they can start getting a little bit more of that Envenom damage, the double Envenom is one of the very scary things. It's actually almost like a tease to healers, because they'll think, okay, you know what? That guy's fine, he can get out of this team fight. Then bam, double Envenom hits, and it's like, whoa, where did their health just go? It's a very scary thing if you can blend both of those on one target. Meanwhile, ADRD in the top lane just going to solo the Garden Terror by himself. And that's going to allow for the rest of Gamers2 to kind of just move around as a bigger unit and start threatening up TeamLiquid quite a bit more.
One of the things that's also really important here to note once again is that when we're talking about the team compositions, while Illidan is using his immolation already to take camps on the map, we're having a double healer for TeamLiquid, and that is really going to help them with the sustain here, especially of course since Illidan as a melee assassin is heavily relying on support in those big team fights, and the double protective shield that we're having from Brightwing and Malfurion is going to be key for that. Bot lane, now the plant taken, but we're having a rotation up to the top where TeamLiquid is now going to try to take the seeds as well.
Yes, so this is going to be a really nice trade for both of them. However, Gamers2 obviously going to get... Oh, actually, no. They are 4 seeds shy. Can Shihu get in here? Yes! Picks up the last 4 seeds in order to actually get the Garden Terror. Perfect, 100 seeds to get that first Garden Terror. Now, last time we saw this is actually going to be really cool because they've got that Sylvanas, and because they've got the Sylvanas, that allows them to put the Garden Terror in one lane and Sylvanas and a bunch of other teammates to push another lane very, very hard. If they leave the Garden Terror alone, they lose a fort because of the Garden Terror. If they leave Sylvanas alone, they lose a fort because it's Sylvanas. So that's going to allow them to kind of put a little bit of checkmate into their opponents and just force your opponents to make a bad choice no matter what.
And that is one of the things where TeamLiquid usually excels at, that they are getting out of these situations without even losing too much. And especially the first Garden Terror doesn't have too many hit points, so oftentimes you're not able to get too much damage done with it just yet. There comes one of those polymorph seeds hitting Illidan pretty hard, but at the top lane already the deep push, thanks to that plant and the pod against that Siege Giant camp that Illidan picked up just a few seconds ago. So currently Gamers2 trying to capitalize on the plan that they have. In experience, TeamLiquid is even leading, but only slightly. So once those waves are being taken out, it's going to equalize again. Mid lane, we have another push happening, and as you already mentioned, the bottom lane, that's where we're seeing Sylvanas now aided by another Siege Giant camp that Gamers2 took earlier.
Right, and that's going to allow them to get a really good amount of damage in here on Blackscorp, and that's going to allow him to back up here. That's really close. That's really, really close for him going down there. Gamers2 doing a really good job of chaining up all of that CC, but unfortunately did not actually stack enough in order to get that kill. Meanwhile, Plant Terror still running around doing a good amount of damage. About to throw an overgrowth here at the top lane. Sylvan is pushing in here with the siege camp down bot lane, is able to pick up at least one tower. Looks like she'll be able to pick up another tower very easily.
TeamLiquid is doing what they can to stay in an experience range close to Gamers2, but of course the Polish team taking a slight lead here now. Both of the teams picked up their level 7 talents. We're seeing cleanse for both of them. Very interesting. In this case, of course, with a double heal, we saw that earlier already happening for TeamLiquid. Since they have double heal, they don't necessarily need Gust of Healing on Brightwing, and therefore they have the opportunity to pick up cleanse, which they did, and they won't even lack the healing power in those fights. So very important for them to get that, and especially since we're having quite a few stuns on the other team, they can really put that to some use when Illidan is starting to engage.
Yes, and that's going to allow, Gamers2 has been around the map so much that that level 10 going to allow them to just push out a lot more confidently at this point. And those cleanses, they're going to be very, very useful, because if Gamers2 runs in here, they start chaining a whole bunch of CC together, TeamLiquid's going to need that cleanse to get out of here. But it looks like TeamLiquid's just perfectly fine in order to just completely back up here and not even have to worry about throwing those cleanse down at the right times.
They couldn't really engage that and contest that Siege Giant camp that was currently attacked by their opponents, just because they didn't have the heroic abilities just yet. And if you're going up against that Water Elemental, Maw, Avatar, in this case even the Divine Storm for additional CC, plus Wailing Arrow, you don't really want to jump into that when you don't have your own heroics yet. And they come into play now with, in this case, even a Locust Swarm taken on the side of Anubarak. We're having, of course, Metamorphosis taken for Illidan, no question there, and a Blink Heal plus Tranquility to really put the healing numbers out.
And that's going to put so much healing out. There's going to be so much sustained damage coming out here from Gamers2 that this is going to be really mitigated by the fact that there's going to be that Tranquility as well as the Blink Heal. So it's going to be a whole bunch of spot healing as well as just AoE healing. It's going to be very, very nice there for TeamLiquid. But going on into the fights, though, if they can get completely chained, I mean, they've just got that Wailing Arrow that's coming out there on the Sylvanas. If she can block out those healers from being able to use those abilities, they could easily pick up a very quick kill.
Oh, talking about kills, Grandpa Kette, wow, barely moving away here with a Blink kill, since Shihu was already aiming for a hammer, trying to take it down. So it's going to be an exchange for forwards down at the bot lane. We're having Gamers2 taking one out, but at the top lane, it looks like TeamLiquid will get that kill too. AD is nearby, but he is really hesitant to show himself there, since Zagara would just die way too fast against these heroes.
Yeah, and Zagara, of course, no escape, so if you get caught a little bit, guess what? You got caught a lot of it. So it's a very, very scary moment. But with the creep, is able to get a good amount of map awareness to know where and where not to go. And ADRD is playing that perfectly so far. Meanwhile, Blackscorp, the rest of TeamLiquid starting to push down in this mid lane with the Terror, and doing a good amount of damage.
We had a lot of seats taken by their opponents, by the way, but in this case it is the Terror on the side of TeamLiquid that is starting to do the damage. They already destroyed the entire wall in the mid lane, and now they're starting to move down to the bot lane, where they could even try and force that forward, but we have, of course, again the rotation of their opponents. Sylvanas is already moving down, and the rest of the team will follow very soon. Vortex is starting to put the damage in. It will put level 13 into their hands in just a second. They might even be able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, I'm curious, are they going to be able to turn this into a team engagement? I mean, they're kind of posturing around.
Well, it doesn't really look like they will currently. Oh, they are trying to engage here already, and Chiku needs to jump back. Here comes the immediate metamorphosis, but the Wailing Arrow already used to silence the heroes out thanks to the double heal. Illidan is still alive, and he's going straight for it once again. Uther already down, and that's the single healer that we're seeing for Gamers2, the Polish team with a good Maw against Vortex. But in this case, it's an entire level lead that they got on the back of that. The kill against Uther and against the fort.
You always have to be very, very careful about how much distance you give yourself between an Illidan and an Anubarak. They can close that gap so incredibly closely and so incredibly quickly that TeamLiquid did that so fast that I don't think Gamers2 was expecting it. And that was exactly what allowed them to net a couple of kills here. And that's going to be the first blood of the game, actually. Wow, 9 minutes in here. Hadn't seen a single kill yet, but we're starting to see them now. Gamers2 looks like they want to turn this around. They've got 13 now, but TeamLiquid not letting them have that chance.
I'm liking the Burning Rage on level 13 on Muradin here. I really feel it's a cool talent for him to get some extra damage in these fights. Also a Shrink Ray on Uther, which is a great talent to take when you're up against an Illidan player. It's just amazing to see how much additional CC you can put on him. But that's also where that Cleanse on Brightwing once again comes into play, of course. The thing about TeamLiquid just is that once they get a chance, you give them just a tiny opportunity, and they are going to exploit it. And they really ran with the momentum, taking down 2 forts on the back of one single kill and that talent that they just got a bit earlier, and now they have an entire level lead over their opponents.
And not only that, look at the Malfurion healing numbers. Oh my god, also picking up the life seed as well at level 13, but here's a military engagement. Actually, as I'm speaking about that, Malfurion does get eliminated. The Maw going down here on Blackscorp. Can they actually turn this into a victory, though? Grab Paquette, going to be able to pick up that kill in the backline. But right now, Yova trying to get out, trying to disengage, but Blackscorp not actually able to do that. Wait, hold on. I thought Blackscorp was the first. No, sorry. Anyway.
No. He's already in Malfurion died. Blackscorp is in the middle of things, but finally he's getting taken out there. Nice turnaround by Gamers2. They see an opportunity to burst down Illidan, and they do it a bit too deep here for Blackscorp. But at the beginning of the fight, Zagara as a direct counter kill to Malfurion. So it's a 2-4-2 in this scenario. Very nice battle that we saw there.
That was just, everything was flipping absolutely everywhere and going every way, which of way. Very confusing fight, but TeamLiquid going to be able to take a good amount of map control out of this, run around and pick up all these seeds because the night just spawned.
It's the perfect timing simply for them. They can move straight for those camps and get a fair share of those. They have another plan growing, and of course Gamers2 is also going to get a plan for the next night. It's already growing for them too. They go straight for the Terror at the bot lane. Top lane, by the way, is pushing really hard. That's a very good wave that is coming in for Gamers2 now. The Polish team has done a very good job at getting these lanes pushed in, and Blackscorp has to deal with that. He's probably going to get a bit of assistance since, yeah, Vortex moves in with a quick pot. That's a lot of free experience that they get there just a second later. And the more important part is that level 16 talent. But they won't be able to capitalize on that small timing window, since we're going to see Gamers2 get that talent any second now too.
Yeah, Gamers2 is going to be able to pick up that level 16 as well, but we got the triple blood for blood coming in here for TeamLiquid. Actually, Gamers2 going a little bit too far forward. They don't have that level 16 talent. They got to back up, and that's what they're realizing right now. Going for the disengage, going to just wait it out just a little bit longer. Shihu trying to get a little bit more experience by pushing in that creep wave, but now starting to take a lot of damage from TeamLiquid.
ATL is jumping in again, and finally the 16 talent, a lot later than I expected it for the Polish team, but they're getting it with a Stone Form Benediction. We're having Numbing Blast taken together with the Brute expansion, so those talents extremely important, especially of course also that Blood for Blood on Sylvanas. It's that plant battle again, and we have a very offensive, like, at the front, Vortex just trying to take these towers out in a good position here. They are the ones pushing in. That's always the position you want to be in, and they're close to level 17 already. Vortex doesn't get polymorphed here, but it looks like Gamers2 can force them back.
Yeah, Gamers2 actually not only just forcing them back, possibly looking for an engagement here. Shihu going to throw in there, going to throw down that Stormbolt, get the stun in on Vortex, but I don't think that's going to be able to turn into a whole engagement here. Gamers2 looking like they want to just back up here. They don't want to play too crazy. They have all the heroics. Everybody's got their heroics up, but a 5v5 in the middle of the map against some team that's a little bit ahead is not the best decision, especially when you got Siege Giants pushing in this top lane, and it looks like Sylvanas going to go over to deal with that.
Yeah, Sylvanas at the top lane, we're seeing Zagara and Muradin at the bot lane. They had to depush both of these. Look at experience though. Thanks to these two lanes that they just picked up, the experience is nearly even now. 17 versus 16 and a bit, so this is looking extremely good. It looks like Gamers2 was able to close that gap. Very important here. We so far have only 3 kills against 2, and even though there were more structures that were eliminated by TeamLiquid in this game, Gamers2 still has every opportunity to come back into this match and turn things around.
Oh yes, I mean they're definitely not in any bad way. They still are just evening up the levels actually pretty quickly and pretty well as well. I mean, TeamLiquid moving up around the top end of the map. Gamers2, are they going to look for some opening in terms of taking out maybe a couple of TeamLiquid structures? No, it looks like they actually might be able to notice that TeamLiquid is up on their side of the map. Can they turn around? Can they wrap around this and collapse?
I don't think they have the time. Yeah, the camp already taken, so the Bruiser camp has been captured by TeamLiquid, and they have started to get a bit ahead in experience again, basically just making sure that they restore their initial advantage that they had. This camp, of course, that is pushing at the top lane will force the hand of Gamers2. They have to rotate over there, and that allows TeamLiquid not only to de-push the mid lane, but also to just move straight down to their own Bruiser camp and capture that out too.
Keep in mind that actually a really cool talent, I don't know if that was mentioned. Oh, Grand Paquette gonna get knocked out by the Maw. Can they actually win this? Can they kill him? There's the Blink Heal trying to get away. Very, very fancy maneuvers, but unfortunately Sylvanas a little too slick for him.
Yeah, we saw Grand Paquette with some amazing escapes throughout the tournament already. He's really good on that right wing and knows how to juke out the opponent. But if you're up against 4 heroes and you're in the middle of them, there is very little that you can do to get away.
Ooh, interesting to note is that Yova actually picked up the Numbing Blast instead of picking up Northern Exposure. That's to lock down that Illidan for even just half a second, or sorry, just for a second. That's a little bit more CC that they can use here. And actually, can they lock him down here? Black Corp gonna get completely eliminated here. And now Gamers2 definitely in this game. Very strong position right now. 2 people down here on TeamLiquid.
Yeah, that was a really good kill there. He was just about to use Metamorphosis to jump away, but in that second we saw all the damage coming in with the Water Elemental being dropped right on top of him as well. Very good move by Gamers2, and that is definitely a setback for TeamLiquid. Suddenly it's the Polish team that is ahead in experience, and it's of course the perfect time for this kill. The Knight has just fallen, and that means that a lot of these seeds will end up in the hands of Gamers2. And well, TeamLiquid, of course, they know that they need to do something about that, so they immediately move up to the Terror at the top lane, trying to get those 25 seeds that are still missing for them to get a plant on their own.
Yes, and that's going to be definitely a plant for both these people right now. Actually, yeah, so they already have their plant Terror, so this is going to be pretty good for Gamers2. They're going to have that plant on the map for a little bit longer, and that's going to be a little scary for a couple of reasons. That means that the duration is going to be a little bit less, and that means it's going to take a good amount of damage before TeamLiquid shows up. So, in the beginning, it's going to be great, because they can do a lot more damage while that Terror is starting to spawn here for TeamLiquid. At the same time, though, this means that Gamers2, by the time that they actually get into an engagement against TeamLiquid, is going to be a lot weaker. So, they have to be a little bit cautious of that.
Black Scorp is moving in now and destroys first of all that pot, a bit of damage on the key but not too much yet, and they can look for an engagement now. If this continues, then Gamers2 will be the team that picks up level 20 first, and that is of course an opportunity that they have to force an engagement. Black Scorp in the mid lane is now starting to push in, and you can really tell how Gamers2 says, we don't want to engage just now, we want to wait a tiny bit longer until we have level 20, so they are moving back with Juve on the plant, waiting for that experience to tickle in, and there it is, level 20 with a redemption. We have a double Bolt of the Storm, could see another one on Jaina, there it is, the third one, and of course the Hardened Shield for Muradin.
And this is one of those moments. They saw that little Knight team turn to a 20. TeamLiquid immediately started evacuating that dance floor. They did not want to be there any longer.
And at the top lane, Brightwing is trying to get level 20 for them now too, but in the meantime, in the mid lane, there's a huge push going on against the keep. This is where Gamers2 is starting to get ahead if they can cake this structure down, and it looks very likely. Brightwing is going to put the level 20 in their hands in just a moment. The keep still alive, and they survive for long enough. This is going to be the 20 talent, and there we have it. Already the Hardened Shield taken on the side of Anubarak. We have a double Storm Shield, which is going to give them so much sustain in these battles, and Nexus Frenzy on Vala is such an amazing talent for the extra damage and safety.
Yes, and that's going to allow them to just put a lot of aggression now back on into Gamers2. They're trying to get a good amount of damage here on these keep towers because already Gamers2 has done a good amount of damage to them. But they need to make sure that they don't go a little bit too far forward. Blackscorp already pretty weak in terms of the Terror health. And if they get caught out here, they have a long, long way to go back home.
Exactly, so at this point they need to be careful, but Illidan is going to have an opportunity to jump in here. Whoa, there we have already the Wailing Arrow being used. That's a really bad move for Gamers2. Suddenly there comes the aggression, the more only hitting an Uberug, and immediately the jump of Illidan trying to get one of the heroes down, especially Nico, of course, his main focus, but they're going back in as Shihu had used the Avatar already. Leo from Korea is dying here on the other hand, and this is the momentum that Team Liquid needed. They're jumping in again, trying to take down Meridian, and they get him mid-air, taking him down. The ragdoll flying across the screen, and this is the opportunity that the Spanish team was waiting for, going straight for the first keep of the game.
And, you know, they had taken down Leo from Korea. He did have redemption, but they still just didn't feel confident to go back into that. And that first keep, it's going to be a huge amount of pressure going on into the later parts of the game. Catapult's now going to start pushing down that lane all of the time.
At the bot lane, we have a pretty big wave coming in now on the side of Gamers2, but of course it is the Spanish team that is once again getting ahead. A back and forth game that we're seeing here. Very low kill, but nice battles and really drawn out engagements, of course, especially since we're having a double healer composition for the Spaniards. 5 kills versus 4 at this point. Really solid performance by both of the teams.
Yes, and looking at their numbers as well, just pretty much on par back and forth. Though, with the Malfurion and the Brightwing, you can see that there's so much more healing potential on Team Liquid. But that's okay, because Uther is doing a pretty good job of keeping his team alive, only letting go one more death than the Team Liquid, as you had already mentioned. So it's pretty good to go for double support, but Uther doing a pretty good job of keeping his team alive.
When you look at the numbers, always keep in mind that those planet terrors, when you have one of them, count into those stats as well. So some of you might be a bit surprised about the high numbers that we're seeing on a few of these heroes. This is one of the things that you have to keep in mind talking about the stats in this case. Both of the teams now picking up another Garden Terror, and of course it's the camp that you want to get before the Garden Terrors appear on the map. Once the first Garden Terror is ready, the camps will, or has been taken, the camps will disappear, so it's important that you pick them off before that happens.
And that's a really, really good point, because also, if you get a little bit cheekier later on and you start to invade into your opponents, if you pick up a Garden Terror, or they pick up a Garden Terror, and you see that there's still camps that are getting claimed, that means that your opponents are still taking those camps. It means that they're still yellow, they're still up on the map, that means your opponents are currently there. It's a good way to know where your opponents are and aren't. However, not going to be able to get used here by Team Liquid or Gamers2 in this game just yet.
ADRD waiting patiently next to the plant. They want to use that very, very late to defend, and then also, of course, have a bit of a time window if the plant is not being destroyed to just move against Team Liquid once that Black Scope expires on his plant. So it's a 20-second window that they have to turn maybe things around. Time that was spent by Team Liquid to travel with the plant cross-map. That might be an opportunity for Gamers2, but first of all, of course, they have to defend.
Yes, and that's going to be a really, really difficult spot here because already we have Brightwing and Siege Giants pushing up that top lane. And that's going to be a lot of pressure up there that somehow Gamers2 is going to have to deal with later on. Overgrowth does kill out these mercenary camps as well as critters that walk down the lane, as well as those structures and everything else. So you can use that as a way to start pushing a lane back in your favor. But there's not really a chance for this Terror to really move up to that top lane very easily without letting Team Liquid have a very, very huge chance of pushing in on this keep.
Team Liquid already destroyed one keep, and they want to go for the second one, and of course the pressure is really mounting up to a lot here for Gamers2. The Polish team, they see that wave coming in at the top, and the plan is already starting to rotate, as mentioned, trying to drop that pot, and that's the opportunity that Team Liquid was waiting for down in the bot lane. They're going straight for the keep here, doing so much damage here already. Immediately ADRD is moving back. Here comes the Water Elemental against Falcon. They're trying to use it now to snipe one of the heroes, but they don't get the opportunity yet. Brightwing, of course, is with the team at this point. The Spanish team with all 5 heroes is trying to make sure that Blackscope is not going to die here. Blackscope moves away. Here comes the Wailing Arrow, hitting 3. They're trying to wait it out, and the root against Malfurion, he hops into the root, actually, and that put a stop to the attempt of gaining some momentum.
But looking back at the base, Khaldor, oh no, they lost the keep. And that's going to be 2 lanes now with catapults. That's going to be a constant, ever-looming threat on Gamers2.
And of course, the top lane also suffered quite a bit of damage here. AD already has another 10 seconds on the plant, and he wants to use them. But look at that. They are collapsing on their opponents from the top, trying to go for one of the heroes. Jaina is there, but they're not jumping in just yet. AD already is out of the plant now, so that might be an opportunity to go for one of the heroes. Shihu is jumping over the wall, going straight for it. And here come the abilities already. The more only hitting Malfurion in this case, but they cannot get the kill against Illidan. Such an important kill here. And Jaina is somehow still alive, but so many of the heroes for the Polish team are low, and Sylvana's dying. Team Liquid rushing in once again. They could try and take down Muradin here. Leo from Korea is back thanks to Redemption. They tapped the kill against Vortex, but all those protective shields keeping him alive, and the double kill against Uther. They're trying to go for Shihu once again. Lucifron is there. Gamers2, they're not done just yet, but they are down 2 heroes once again.
Yes, and that's going to be a pretty big disadvantage for them. Unfortunately for them, though, the night phase is just about to spawn yet again. Can they get too many seeds? Team Liquid knows that they're still up here. It looks like they want to re-engage here. Shihu has to use the leap to get out of here, and that's going to net a whole bunch more of these seeds going back over to Team Liquid. Team Liquid getting a very nice advantage on this map right now.
It was Sorry.
No, go ahead.
It was such an important kill against Illidan in that last fight. If Illidan survives and they kill any one of the other heroes, Vala, Anubarak, Illidan would have cleaned up house.
Yes, that would have been a really, really nice win for Illidan, because they would have been able to probably just take all 5 people there. But they were able to take out that Illidan very, very quickly, which is a very difficult thing to do. Leaps, the evasion, and just about everything else from Team Liquid is trying to keep that Illidan alive, but they got him down. That didn't let that come into a huge, huge victory there for Team Liquid, but it was still a minor victory that allowed them to get a lot of seeds. Both these teams now going to have Garden Terrors.
And Blackscope moving into the bot lane alone, forcing everybody back. They're really scared that this is another engagement. He was just trying to steal a few of those seeds away. Shiku is moving in here. Vortex needs to be careful. They are trying to go for the Bruiser camp and of course the extra seeds, but both of the teams will have another Garden Terror.
Yeah, it looks like Gamers2 is going to try and get a good bonus of seeds here out of this bottom Garden Terror. Picking up all these seeds is going to be really nice. But while they're doing this, they're letting Team Liquid encroach on their core. In fact, Team Liquid is moving very, very quickly, and they've got Siege Giants they already have to go through. They have to do so much in order to actually defend this. That's going to be the question here. Can they do it? Because already it's a 25-minute Garden Terror. If they just lag out the ability for Gamers2 to deal with Blackscorp in the Garden Terror, this is going to easily be the core. And I think that's actually going to be the question here. Can they lag this out?
I don't think so. Vala is already dead. The core is down to 20%, and this is going to be game number 1 in favor of the Spanish team. They take Garden of Terror, their best map probably right now, against Gamers2, and therefore the lead in the best of 5 series here at the grand final of the End of the Storm tournament.
Whoa, really nice play there by Team Liquid. They take the first game, and well, of course, they are ahead of the best of 5 series now, but to win that, they need to win 2 more maps. And right now here in the grand final of the End of the Storm tournament, we're having the second map. It's Blackheart Spain. It's the map choice of the Polish team. And interestingly enough, this time Abathur wasn't banned out. Abathur is a hero that is continuously banned against Gamers2 because they are really strong with their Abathur combinations. AD already the mastermind behind the Polish strategies. He's extremely good with the hero. And in this game now, what Team Liquid did, they didn't ban out Abathur, but they picked Illidan away from them. So they couldn't go into one of those Illidan-Abathur combinations. Gamers2 said, well, listen guys, that's fine. We're going to take Abathur anyways, but we're going to play it with the Tyrael and also Zeratul here, and we're going to try and deal with that then. And Gamers2 will of course try to show their skills off here, but Team Liquid has a very strong lineup themselves. Not only do they have Illidan in their own composition, which is great on Blackheart's Bay, just because you can basically just PvE half the game, go from one camp to another, get all those coins and turn them in, but they also have the Lost Vikings here again, and the Vikings are pretty cool when it comes to soaking, especially the top 2 lanes, so that you can push at the bottom. We're going to see if Team Liquid is going to exploit that or how they are planning to run them here on Blackheart's Bay. Game number 2 coming up now. Team Liquid is in the lead with a 1-0, and we're going to jump into the second match of the best of 5 series here at the End of the Storm tournament.
Game number 2 in the grand final at the Enter the Storm tournament. Team Liquid versus Gamers2. Spain versus Poland. And the Spanish team is in the lead, winning the first map of the series here on Garden of Terror, actually. Now we are on Blackheart's Bay. This is a best of 5, of course, and to the left side of the map we are seeing the Spaniards with Vortex on the Lost Vikings, Gran Paquete on Rega, Blackscope again on Illidan, with Lucifron picking up an Uberak and Falcon on Zagara for the bot lane pressure. To the right side it is Shihu on Tyrael, Nika on Sylvanas, Leo from Korea on Brightwing today, and we're having AD on Abathur, whereas Uber is playing his Zeratul in this game, probably gonna go for that Regeneration Master on level 1.
What? Did you just see ADRD walk through to the Vision Ward in the middle, through a bush,
No.
and get that Vision Ward? Oh my god. That's guts. That's guts right there.
I actually didn't catch that, but yeah, he's moving in here apparently directly. Yeah, interesting, why not?
Yeah, I guess why not? Why not just run your Abathur to the middle of the lane? Oh man,
Hey,
that's gonna be a
Slabathur.
great start already. Yeah, slap him.
Nothing better than Abathur slapping the core to death and winning the game for you. That actually happened to me once. I was unfortunately not the Abathur doing it, but yeah, an Abathur in my team finished the core when our entire team died, and he just burrowed over there and slapped it to death. It was pretty funny.
Well, so the chests have spawned here. Both these teams going to pick up each of their 5 coins from the top and the bottom. So Gamers2 and TeamLiquid sitting pretty even right now. We're not going to see too many other coins pop up on this map, of course, because we've got about another minute until those mercenary camps spawn them, and then that's going to be where you're going to start picking up a couple more of those side coins. But until then, nobody's probably going to turn in too much.
We have a very interesting talent choice on level 1. Abathur went for Survival Instincts. That was a great talent to take, especially when we still had the backdoor opportunity for Abathur. But these days, when you see an Abathur played, it's usually as a support for a melee assassin. In most cases, it's Illidan. And then it's all about the assist for the melee assassin. So you see a lot of extra damage coming out. And in this case right now, it is again the focus on the pushing power of Abathur, which I personally have not seen since the patch put that backdoor strategy out of the orbit.
Yeah, that's true, and you know, it's really weird to think that Abathur's not the backdoor type of hero that he used to be, but it looks like maybe ADRD is going for a little bit of that. He's already just standing in the middle of the lane. I don't know how or why, but that's how he plays. Vortex just barely getting away with Eric's life here in the top lane, as Yova was trying to take him down very, very quickly. Now Leo from Korea trying to pressure in those Vortex in the mid lane, trying to deny that experience soak from the Vikings.
Okay, now on level 4 we still have Adrenal Overlord, so apparently it's just about that level 1 talent, so it feels like a bit of a hybrid build. Illidan going straight for ADRD at the top lane, and the Slug is dead, so the Noodle got noodled. We have Blackscope getting that kill in, and ADRD just a bit too far out. Blackscope is saying thank you very much, takes the kill, and that's of course a bit unfortunate for Gamers2.
Yes, but fortunately for them, however, it's the beginning of the game, so Abathur is only out for a very, very short period, and the pushing potential out of Abathur at this point is really not that huge. Meanwhile, we've got a little bit of an engagement here near the chest. Grand Paquette taking a huge amount of damage, but he's going to jump into wolf form and get away here. Shihu and Nicker are going to start pushing down this bottom lane.
Promote taken on Brightwing in this case, so it is more of a push build that we're seeing from Gamers2 here. That's of course not only because of the talent that we're having on Abathur taken on level 1, but also because of Promote now, which allows Brightwing to promote a couple of units. And on this map in particular, if you think about it, as the objectives are attacking the structures directly, it's really interesting if you can destroy a few of the towers and gates early on, and then get so much more value out of the coins that you turn in.
Yes, and speaking of those coins, let's take a look. I mean, Blackscorp just about to get the turn in there. They don't have the towers down, though, so not going to be able to get that turn in.
And we could see on level 7 for Abathur Mule taken, I wouldn't be surprised there. Balog going down at the top lane, where Juve is still hunting those Vikings. And it's actually pretty cool if you are going with Gathering Power, because the Vikings give you a full stack on that. In this case, though, since it is so popular these days and so strong, we're having the auto attack on Zeratul, so he can't really capitalize on these kills too much, except for making sure that TeamLiquid isn't going to get as much experience as they want to.
Yes, and speaking of experience, they're trying to use that Abathur to try soak these lanes, pushing down that mid lane, with the top lane with the Abathur, and moving straight on into Vortex. So cheeky is ADRD with that Abathur. but they've got the bot lane as well under their control. They've got these Siege Giants doing pretty good damage as well, so these Lost Vikings not really netting them a whole bunch of experience. However, it looks like Team Liquid is going to go straight on in here, take out the Mule, and possibly take out this fort. Can they collapse on this is the question. Blackscorp taking a good amount of damage here from Leo from Korea, but not enough, getting healed back up here by Grand Paquette.
Very important move by Team Liquid. The Mule was already there doing his thing, and they moved straight for the fort, saying like, yes, you are not going to heal that up full time. And they also get the chest, which spawns at exactly the same moment in time. So a very nice coincidence for them here. So they get the 5 coins. We have rapid incubation taken on side of Zagara over endless creep, which is very popular these days, and a full beetle build on Anubarak. The bot lane though, Illidan is there again. They are taking a lot of the coins here. 10 coins to 12 that we're seeing, but Shiku might go down. They're getting the kill against Tyrael. That's another 2 coins that they're getting here. Very nice for them. They already got 1 turn in. They have the opportunity to turn in right away again.
Yeah, that's going to be a really nice victory for them. That's going to be easily level 10 here. They already picked up that fort. They're going to pick up a couple of towers up here in the top lane, and that's going to be enough for them to push them over into that level 10 area. Now, Gamers2, they're in a little bit of the back foot. They need to start getting a lot of experience down here, and ADRD needs to start doing some crazy stuff. He is way, way far back, though. He is so scared.
Yeah, he's playing this extremely safe now. There's that level 10 that you've just been mentioning. And of course it's Ancestral Healing, Metamorphosis, Longbow. We have on the side of Anubarak not the Web Blast, but instead it is the Locust Swarm. And also, of course, Maw and Zagara. No surprise there. They move straight to the top lane where the Ghost Ship is already using the Barrage to take down the structures and finish the fort off to get the second kill here. And even farther ahead in experience.
Yeah, this going to be a very, very great spot here for Team Liquid. They need to stay together, though. They can't let Gamers2 start picking them off slowly, one by one, and that's actually a really good composition that Gamers2 has in order to do that. They've got a pretty good setup. Once they get Tyrael with the Judgment, it's going to be really great. Shihu, though, has to disengage here. It looks like he is going to be able to do that. Team Liquid not in pursuit at all.
Now, one of the things that I want to highlight once again is if you play Abathur in your composition, there are only 2 safe ways how you can soak experience. One of them is to have the body of Abathur close to the creeps that are dying. This is something that ADRD has been trying to do at the top lane, which is why he got picked off by Illidan. And the other way is to just simply have a symbiote in the area. So as long as that symbiote head is somewhere where creeps are dying, you get the experience for it. Another way is to kill a minion. That can happen with one of the locusts or with a mine, but just simply having a locust somewhere on the lane does not give you experience around the locust. The locust has to actually take down the minion, and then you will get experience for that single minion. Boss is being taken at the top though, and that might be... Oh, the kill against Zeratul! Uh-oh, Gamers2 is in trouble.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a risky play, and the risky play is not working out so well. Falcon does get a huge maul, and it looks like they're going to be able to chain this up. Vortex, though, is taking a lot of damage, is going to get knocked out of the boat, but it's okay, he's still alive. Tyrael's going to get taken out here, and this is a huge victory for Team Liquid. 4 people taken out.
Wow, that massive maw on 3 heroes. But they were able to jump on the spot again. Longbow immediately being used, and we actually saw Grand Paquette trying to go for an Ancestral Healing to keep it alive. That didn't work out, but it didn't even matter. Even with the Longbow annihilated, they just took out everybody. You have a 2-level lead right now. They have 13 coins. The boss is charging down their top lane, putting pressure on the wall. An amazing position for Team Liquid to be in. And it's such bad news for Gamers2. They're already behind in this series. They lost the first map, and it's not really looking good for them on map number 2.
I mean, it's still the series of a best of 5, so that's even if they lose this game, they can still take everything back. But Gamers2 needs to start getting their head together. They need to start taking a couple of kills here. Looks like Yova looking for a little bit of a kill here on Vortex's Vikings, but I don't think that's going to happen. Meanwhile, 4 people of Team Liquid pushing down this bot lane. Looks like this fort's going to go over to them as well.
And at this point, we have a zero ability on Abathur Monstrosity. So the entire build that they have depends so much on their pushing power. But if you look at those lanes, most of the lanes push against them now. Even with Promote, even with the Survival Instincts on the Locust and the Monstrosity, they're just not able to apply that pressure that they're trying to execute with this build. They have on Brightwing, Emerald Wind for the disengage, but all of these things just didn't work together the way that they wanted. And they are in so much trouble because of it, since their team fight is not as strong as it could be.
Yeah, this team fight is really going to be pretty weak for a bit, and they still are just absent of those 13 talents. They're going to be so big in the next couple of seconds, but Team Liquid, man. They're level 15, man. What are you supposed to do against that?
I actually don't know in this case, because right now they're trying, of course, to get more coins together so they can turn in Vortex up at the top. Here's the monstrosity that we've been talking about. Of course, at some point we have to take care of that, and one Viking is not going to be enough. But still, there is the movement from Team Liquid again. They're starting to rotate. Level 13 talent. It is Bombard Strain. They even go for the Siege, so interesting to see that on the side of ADRD here. He really wants to use Abathur just as a pushing presence on the map, and with level 16 he can go for the Brood expansion, but of course for the Locust Brutes, so that he has the triple Locusts ready. That's when we are seeing him become a lot more active on the map if he actually uses that talent. But right now they are struggling, since all of the coins that we have on the map are going straight to Team Liquid, and they are about to turn in again, and they're only 1 coin shy of another completed turn in.
And Team Liquid knows that Gamers2 is down here. They're already starting up the chain of CC Lucifron. Lets down a bunch of spikes onto Gamers2, but Grand Paquette coming in from the other side. Looks like Sylvanas trying to get away using the Haunting Wave, but I don't think it's going to happen. Blackscorp going to be able to pick up that kill using the Blood for Blood. Now using the Metamorphosis as well. There's the Emerald Wind to disengage, and I feel like Team Liquid's like, you know what? We are going to back up for a couple of seconds. Actually, no. They are turning back into this. They've got 1 kill down. They're going to not let up on this advantage right now. They're going to also pick up these Siege Giants on the other side of this little river. And it's going to be a great spot for Team Liquid right now.
A triple Blood for Blood on level 16 that they've been using already in the last fight, and it was just great to see that Vortex didn't even care about the team fight. It was just saying like, yeah, you guys take down that wall, you're going to be alright, I'm going to take those Siege Giants over here, and then we're going to take it from there. And that's exactly what they are doing. At the top lane, the monstrosity is still pushing, but we're having Team Liquid moving into the middle of the map now to turn in once more, and this is going to be another completed turn in, and that will put more and more pressure onto the mid lane, with the first damage applied to a keep.
Yeah, and I guess ADRD is being really weird with this monstrosity. He keeps moving it backwards, moving it forward, moving it backwards, trying to keep it alive for as long as possible, because you get more and more stacks the longer that this evolved monstrosity stays alive. He can keep control of it by using that symbiote. Yova going very forward to try and get a little bit of damage here on Blackscorp, but that's actually not going to work out so well for them. He's now just using this monstrosity as almost like an entire 5th hero.
I actually like it. It's very strong. If you ever try to go up against a full stack monstrosity and trying to take that out, that hurts a lot. But of course you lose a lot of time where you could be somewhere else with your symbiote head. The monstrosity has a lot of hit points. You can get up to, I think, 5,000 or even more than that, and a lot of damage, so you have to be careful going up against it. But now the keep in the mid lane has been eliminated after that Ghost Ship Barrage. Team Liquid was moving in, finishing it off just to make sure that the Mule is not going to heal it up again. I'm really liking the way they're playing it here, and the advantage that they have in the game is absolutely crazy. The 16 talent is now finally about to happen. Maybe with Locust Brute, if they go for it, they can get something done, and there it is. Locust Brute taken, the triple Locust, so this is the time when ADRD really has to go out on the map again.
But can he really turn this whole entire thing around? That's going to be the biggest question here, Khaldor. It's a lot of work that he's got to go through. He's got to go through a couple of forts on either side, on the top and bot. The mid lane is already pushed, but Abathur pushing down in the mid lane, that's very risky. And even though it is ADRD, I don't think he's going to go for it. They're going to grab the Great Golem, and this is going to walk down the top lane.
This is a really, I mean, we've been talking about the position that Gamers2 is in, and it's a really bad one. 9 coins already on the side of Team Liquid again, and they need 9 more to complete another turn-in. But that turn-in, together with the boss, would eliminate probably another keep here. They're already moving in. There are quite a few of those mines, but they eliminate every single one of them, and they are back to full health already, thanks to their healer here. They are moving in once more. They demolish the wall, and that boss is gonna get keep for sure. Gamers2 trying to defend, using their mule already. They are 3 level behind, well, basically 2. And here comes once again Metamorphosis, and the immediate kill against Tyrael.
Oh my god, and it looks like they're going to be able to take down this keep pretty confidently as well. They're moving on forward. Vortex in his longboat raid, singing his song of his people. Going to move on in, and it looks like with a half-health Grave Golem, they're going to be able to take this core. There's a Void Prison to try and zone out a bit of Team Liquid, but I don't think it's going to be able to do that much. 20 on the cusp here for Team Liquid, but with the Grave Golem doing so much damage, I don't think Gamers2 can hold on any longer. I think that Team Liquid's going to take game number 2.
They take the game, and they are in a 2-0 lead against Gamers2 now. Congratulations to Team Liquid. The best of 5 series going to continue with game number 3 in just a bit, but good effort by them already.
Wow, Team Liquid, they take the 2-0 in the series here, and therefore they are one map win away from advancing, or not advancing, from winning the entire thing, from winning the End of the Storm tournament powered here by GosuGamers, because that was really amazing. So guys, this is going to be pretty good. Gamers2, everything is on the line here, and so far, their strategies just haven't worked out. They need to step it up a bit, and they're trying to do that now on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And the way that they draft was already, I mean, it was pretty apparent that we are going to see another one of these pusher comps that we've seen throughout the tournament a couple of times already. Especially here on Tomb of the Spider Queen, you can go for that double promote with Tacita and Brightwing. Try to get a few pusher heroes in your setup, and then just barrel down on those lanes, take down the forts and also the keeps, and just hit your opponent when he cannot really defend himself just yet. On the other hand, Team Liquid, of course, realizing that, especially after we saw the first 2 heroes being picked for Gamers2, which in this case were Brightwing and also Zagara. So what Team Liquid did here was actually very smart. They just decided to take a few of those pushing heroes away from their opponents, and that meant that they went into Tacita, and they also took a Nubarak, which is of course a great laner and also has a lot of pushing power with that Beetle build. On top of that, Team Liquid got Zeratul through the draft, which is amazing for Black Scorp. He's back on his favorite hero. And well, this is not going to be an easy one for the Polish team. Gamers2 has to step it up, and this is the chance that they have. Won't be an easy game, but it's their map choice. So let's see what they can do here on game number 3 at the End of the Storm tournament between Gamers2 and Team Liquid.
Game number 3 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. A 2-0 lead for Team Liquid in the series. This is the grand final of the Enter the Storm tournament. And to the left side of the map we're having Team Liquid with Vortex on Tacita, Black Scorp on Zeratul, Grand Paquette on Malfurion, Lucifron on Nubarak, and Falcon on Kel'Thas. To the right side of the map, they came from the winner bracket, but they haven't won a map in this grand final so far. It is Gamers2, the Polish team. They need to start a comeback here. It's ADRD on Zagara, Yuwe on Jaina, Leo from Korea on Brightwing, Shihu on Muradin, and Nika on one of his favorite heroes. Nika is playing Vala. I'm Khaldor, with me is Sham2, and let's find out if Team Liquid is able to win this one as well and win the grand final with a 3-0 without even dropping a map.
Yes, and that's going to be incredibly interesting to watch. We've got the level 1 talent starting to spill in here. We got that nice little scouting drone coming in here for the Brightwing. We have Leo from Korea playing a really nice safe game, going to keep track of those gems. But meanwhile, a little bit of damage going in here on Grand Paquette. He's going to have to back up here. Really already energetic gameplay from 4-man stack sitting in both these mid lanes.
Of course, again, seasoned marksman taken on Tacita, who will go for that auto-attack damage build with the focus attack on level 4 and then on level 7, the follow-through talent. He's got buffed a bit in the last patch, and that's one of the reasons why we see that. Wow! Black Scorp apparently already taking down Zagara at the bot lane here. Doing a great job with that, and that's already a blow against the Polish team. We're currently rotating with 4 heroes throughout the lanes, trying to get a pick thanks to Muradin being able to stun targets out and Yuwe with a burst damage.
Yeah, and that's going to be a really nice first pickup here, because that's going to already, you can see that little experience advantage, not just from the fact that you got the kill, but also from soaking that lane. Zagara is going to lose out a little bit on that experience. ADRD, though, he's got to start stepping up his game. They can't let this game go.
Yeah, if they lose here, it's all over. They would come in second place at the tournament, which is still very impressive. Oh, that triple stun and the kill against Brightwing. Wow, that was a really nice chain that they had there. Team Liquid, they are on fire. They dropped into the losers bracket on the first day. They got super mad about it, and they stepped up their game ever since, and they've dominated that loser bracket, ending up in the grand final here, and so far they haven't even dropped a map against Gamers2. Very impressive performance by them.
Yeah, and they're already starting off this match in a really fancy fashion, because they've got those 2 kills already, and they're not letting go. 29 gems in their favor, 26 right now for Gamers2. Gamers2, they've got to start getting into a situation where they start catching up. It's level 4 already out here for Team Liquid, and they're starting to pick up some of those talents. We see that promote going down there on the Tassadar, the focus attacks for the Zeratul, protective shield for Malfurion, more and more beetles coming out here from Manuverak, and nobody was surprised that day. And gathering power going out there on Falcon's Kilthos.
Yeah, not going for the, not going for his Gravity Labs talent that he could have gone for there. Doesn't really have to, I suppose. I think at this point they're very confident with their ability to keep Falcon alive, so if you get those gathering power stacks on him, that would be great. But the stun against Tassadar, Lucifer already moving in, making sure that nobody can follow this up. Shihu is not in a position where he is overextending. He says like, yeah, I know what's coming. I'm not going to try and take them down because I will die. I know that already.
He wants to play very, very carefully because, I mean, he already had Lucifron coming in from the top lane. You don't want to go, you know, picking on the little brother there because the big brother will start coming in and start doing a lot of damage. So, good amount of work coming in here from Team Liquid already. They've got this map a little bit under their palm, their hand, and I don't know. Can they keep it up? Gamers2, they've got to start stepping this up a little bit more.
I really like the picks on Anubarak and also on Tassadar, since that's exactly what Gamers2 wanted to achieve here, to have a double promote and also a massive push of power thanks to the Zagara already in their team. But at this point, I feel that the promote on Brightwing feels even a bit off, because it's not that they're in a position where they can push this hard. It feels that especially against Zeratul and Kel'Thas, they need something just to keep their heroes alive, and a protective shield would have gone a long way there. We're gonna find out how Brightwing can utilize that talent in the later stage of the game. For now though, Falcon in trouble and eliminated. Good first kill here by Gamers2. That's exactly what we've been waiting for, and they are able to deliver, taking down one of the heroes here.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Gamers2 needs because, well, I mean, he didn't really have too many gathering power stacks, but already putting a little bit of a taste in the mouth of the fact that you are mortal, you can die. Show you that a god can bleed. It's a little bit of 300 quotes coming in here, but they need to make sure that they don't let Kilthos start getting a whole bunch of gathering power stacks. That's the scary thing about that level 4 talent.
Red Web Weavers are descending first. We have the level 7 just a tiny bit faster for Team Liquid. The Spanish team picking that up with a static charge on Tassadar, and also the full Beetle build next to the Fission Bomb for Kel'Thas, and of course Enduring Growth on Malfurion. But now the talent is also available to the Polish team. Up at the top lane, we're immediately seeing Grand Paquette and Lucifron going for the elimination of the first Web Weaver. The bot lane is which is really going to be difficult to stop, since Zagara is pushing together with the spiders here, and that's a lot of pushing power.
Yeah, but she's going against a Blackscorp, and Blackscorp's Zeratul doing a good amount of damage, already whittling her away very, very quickly. The mid lane Web Weaver is going to get dealt with by Team Liquid, but right now Gamers2 going to concatenate on the bot lane, get everybody together, all together in a line, and start pushing down this bottom fort. Can they do it though before Team Liquid's able to respond is the question. They don't have a Sylvanas on their team to really lock down that fort, so they are going to take a good amount of damage from it. But already, Team Liquid started coming here. Blackscorp doing a lot of damage to that Vala. They have to back up here. Shihu going to be the front line here, already positioning himself to be that buffer.
A lot of gems, by the way, on the side of Team Liquid still. We're having them at nearly 50 of those, so they could easily get a turn in right now. And Gamers2, I mean, they've done some damage here, but they're still behind in experience, so this is a bit tricky. I love how Zagara currently used the road just to make sure that Blackscorp is not going to get that easy B back to get his hit points and health up. A turn-in up at the top lane, and that's really something that I have to give Gamers2 credit for, that they're able to turn their gems in, but whoa, Zagara again caught by the roots on Grand Paquette's Malfurion and already dead. It's really tricky, and in this case, again, that protective shield would have gone a long way.
That's true. The protective shield would have definitely helped out here, and now they have to deal with Team Liquid's turn-in of the Web Weaver is going to start pushing down these lanes. They've got the promote on the Tassadar. They've got everything else in their favor. They've got the Beetles as well, so these pushes are going to be pretty hefty to deal with. Whether or not they're going to be able to deal with this, as well as stop Team Liquid from getting level 10 before they do. And that's going to be the difficult spot because Team Liquid's very close to that already.
And they have the pushing power thanks to the Web Weavers now. And not only that, they took the Siege Giant camp at the bot lane, which makes this bot lane even more difficult to deal with. I really feel that the entire idea of Gamers2 was counteracted by Team Liquid's picks during the draft. That pushing strategy that Gamers2 was aiming for was already annihilated right there with the first two picks for Team Liquid. And that's something that they're currently carrying just into this game. They have level 10 and they're using it against their opponents. We have Phoenix, of course, already being used, and they are not happy with only taking down the wall here. They're already applying pressure to the well. That alone puts a lot of pressure on the lane, since, of course, you will lose that lane over time if your opponent can still regenerate hit points and mana as their own well. They don't quite kill the fort, but it's very close. And Gamers2, I feel they're definitely in quite a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, they are about to hit level 10 though, so once they get this, they can start moving around the map. Hopefully they start stacking up, getting a 5-man, running around, getting a pick here and there. If they can start whittling away Team Liquid's advantage and being able to be spread out across the map, that's going to be great. But Team Liquid starting to kind of grab all together, and they actually get another Web Weaver turn in, so that's going to be a pretty big win again for Team Liquid. It's like they just defended this, and they have another Web Weavers. Oh, wait, they did, and that's where Team Liquid's victories are coming in here.
Yeah, promoted the bot lane is going to kill one of the forts for Team Liquid. Apparently, up at the top we still have all of those heroes posturing around and waiting. The fort not dying, actually, so the promote just a bit too late. The Web Weavers were descending, but it should be taken out by Gamers2 pretty easily later on, since we do not have a mule for Team Liquid to heal that up to full health again. Right now, Strafe, Avatar, Blink Heal, Water Elemental and more in play, and the Web Weavers are easily going to take down the fort at the bot lane. Let's see what else Team Liquid can do with this set, though.
Yeah, this is going to be a really nice, easy spot for them to just kind of move in. They know that they can't go defend that mid lane, or sorry, keep that mid lane pushing, so they know that they can just get the little bit of a victory down here in the bot lane, start getting these Web Weavers to start doing a little bit of pressure at that bot lane. As soon as Gamers2 goes down there to start defending that, they now have somewhere like that Vala who's going to be by themselves. They can move up here, and that's exactly what they're doing. Blackscorp going to go for that kill, gonna pick it up. That's 11 gems lost here for Gamers2, and that's a huge, huge victory here for Team Liquid, because now they can rotate the rest of their 5-man up here and possibly even take this fort if they want to.
That was a great kill, and also Vala out of mana, not even having a chance to get away there. Blackscorp seeing that, Lucifer too. Vala was trying to move away. Nika saw that coming, but it was already too late. They get the fort at the top lane, and that puts level 13 into their hands, and with that, of course, an additional talent that we're seeing now. Flamethrower already activated, and the wormhole for Blackscorp. This is where the fun starts for him. We're seeing them still collapsing onto that Bruiser camp, the MS2 that is, trying to catch that and maybe finally establish some pressure in the mid lane that allows them to turn in as well. They have the gems. They could turn in again, but Team Liquid is doing the exact same thing. They don't have the full count yet, but they are making sure that even if they lose one of their heroes, it's only going to be that, the death of the hero and not the loss of a ton of gems.
Blackscorp is kind of skirting around, looking for somebody to go against. It looks like he's going to get a little bit of damage in here on Shihu. Actually, keep going in here on ADRT. They're going to chain up all the stuns, all the damage, and pick up ADRT. Team Liquid doing a really good job here. Can they actually clinch out a couple more kills here? Shihu taking a lot of hits yet again. The Phoenix going to zone out a good amount of Gamers2. So good are their rotations that they're able to keep everybody alive perfectly, and that of course also goes down to Grand Paquette's great heals. That's a double kill, and they're going straight for that boss pit.
They're going for the throw pit here, but they will be uncontested. The 13 talent alone giving them a massive advantage. They have also more heroes on the map now. Jaina down for another 10 seconds. Gamers2 isn't even trying to go for this one. They already realize that there's no way they're stopping this. Instead, they're moving into the mid lane, at least with Nika. He's trying to apply some pressure to the lane to push that back. They already know that they have to deal with the boss, and Nika, of course, is going to move back any second. But can maybe with a Moonfire Grand Paquette unhorse him here? It looks like he can, but it's already a bit too late to capitalize on it. At least they got the turn in, and therefore the Web Weaver is moving in for them now.
This is very smart, though, by Gamers2. They're doing a nice little maneuver here. They knew that Team Liquid was all the way in the top lane, so that looks like they were going to go for the Siege Giant camp, but I don't think that actually started up here. Maybe they were just trying to back away here. I did see Brightwing in that bot lane, but now Gamers2 has to focus all of their forces in order to go to the top. Oh, sorry. Gamers2 has to defend this giant boss. They do get a little bit of ease out of that because Team Liquid had to run around and pick up all these Web Weavers, though. So it's not like they're going to lose too much, and 13 just about to go in their favor. So this is the time for them to actually start getting a little bit of an engagement in.
They really want to fight now, because another level will put 16 into the hands of Team Liquid. It's a 2-level lead that we're seeing for the Spanish team here. The Spanish Armada, again, just doing their thing, and up at the top lane, the last Web Weaver is taken out. 31 gems for Team Liquid, 35 for their opponents. They're trying to turn in once more, though. And right now, what did those Web Weavers do? not really all too much. That boss that TeamLiquid took made sure that the Webweaver wave didn't really do any damage. It just pushed a few of the lanes back, and that was all that happened. Not a single structure taken out. We have Gamers2 now with a Siege Giant Cam that they captured at the bot lane, but TeamLiquid is already rotating straight into the middle once more to go for that fort. They might be able to get that, but Gamers2 is ready for the defense.
Yeah, and that's going to be a very, very difficult spot here because already that level 16 on the way, the Web Weavers coming down here from Team Liquid. And as we said, you know, the Web Weavers for red didn't really do so much, but the Web Weavers for blue are going to be able to start pushing down the top of the top lane's keep at least, and start pushing down that bot lane so that those Siege Giants aren't really doing that much.
Level 16, any second. That's what they're waiting for. Black Scorp moving in all that damage against Nika. Once more, he's getting the damage with the right clicks, and they're taking down one of the towers. Here is this level that they were waiting for. The 16, they go for the double strike on the side of Tacita. They have now also the double bombs for good old Zeratul. And in this case, with the hardened shield, the hardened focus, especially Muradin is, of course, or Malfurion is going to get all those heals in. Again, the wall is falling. A great zoning Phoenix, and the kill against Brightwing, thanks to the level 16 talent, thanks to Ignite, they got the living bombs, and they go deep now with that Void Prism.
ADRD gets caught by the Void Prison. It looks like they're going to chain everything up, but a really nice ball barely was going to save him, but not enough to save him entirely. Now they're going in for Yova. Oh my god, the living bomb does so much work. Team Liquid pushing down this keep. It looks like they're going to be able to take that, no problem. So many people have died here for Gamers2. They're in such a bad position. But Team Liquid is so unrelenting. I don't think that they could do that much more. Maybe they could go for this top keep. Yeah, they're going to push in with this Web Weaver as well. And that's going to be a double keep kill here for Team Liquid.
Unbelievable how good these guys are. It is amazing to watch them make their way through the losers bracket after they lost in the first round, ending up in the grand final and just defeating opponent after opponent. An amazing performance by them. They haven't won this just yet. We all know, especially after the series against Navi, that you just sometimes need to lose one fight to lose the game, but so far they have done an absolutely amazing job. They are 3 levels ahead of their opponent. They are about to turn in again. They do not have enough gems to really complete it, but just that position that they're in is absolutely incredible. 9 kills against 1, and Gamers2, they're probably a bit lost here. They're asking themselves, what can we do to turn this around? We have to pull Navi here.
You know, they may be lost, but they don't have the Lost Vikings, and I definitely think that they could use them right now. Get that longboat raid, start turning everything around. But right now, man, Team Liquid is looking abominable. I don't think there's really that much that they could do against this, and Gamers2, you know, they might have been warming up all day, but I guess they were warming up the wrong things. Team Liquid is still just on this train, able to push down absolutely everything. Bruisers in the mid lane, giving them that presence in the bottom lane. They're now able to start pushing other things. They could just run over here, pick up these Siege Giants real quick. This map is Team Liquid's.
You know, like, just seeing these games from the last few matches from Team Liquid makes that victory of Pushing Team in the first round against them so much more impressive. I guess that Team Liquid was really caught off guard there, and I definitely want to see a bit more of Pushing Team in the future, because if you are able to take Team Liquid down, then you are doing something very, very right. So far, the Spanish team in an unbelievably shape. Their performance here is incredible. And now Gamers2 is trying to get a hold of this game by just moving into the middle. There comes the Storm, capturing or interrupting that turn in. Vortex moves back, but the rest of the team is there, and they're trying to fight. Kel'Thas and Nubarak are still missing. Nika! Oh, the Void Prism and the Phoenix is already there. All the damage against Shiru before he moves into the Void Prism. The kill against Svala instantaneously. The Maw this time only hitting one hero. Falcon probably going to die to the Water Band. No, he's not. He's being saved by Vortex and Grand Paquette, and that's already the GG call as Brightwing is dying, Muradin is dying too, and this is gonna be a cleanup job.
Oh my god, they're losing absolutely everybody. 4 people down. There's the GG throwing out. The GGs are Gamers2, and they're also saying Pushik team better than us, as they are gonna get knocked out here in the grand finals. Absolutely staggering play coming out here from Team Liquid. They have 3-0'd the finals.
Grand Final 3-0, amazing performance by Team Liquid. They take Gamers2 down and they win the Enter the Nexus 2. Congratulations.
The Spanish Armada again victorious. They take the game, they take the series. It's a 3-0. They dropped in the losers bracket right after their first match in the tournament, and they got mad. They were like, we don't belong here. We belong in the grand final, and that's where you will see us. And they made it happen. They went through the losers bracket like a menace. They took everybody down, and now in the final they go up against Gamers2, and they just take map after map and win the best of 5 with a 3-0. Super impressive performance here by TeamLiquid. The Spanish team once again exceptionally strong. Gamers2 by no means a pushover team, but the Polish team didn't really stand a chance here against TeamLiquid. So TL, they take the tournament, they take the money back home, and that was amazing by them. So congratulations to TeamLiquid, a great performance that we saw there today from them, and also that was pretty sick, right? Not only the loser bracket performance, but then taking the final with a 3-0. Respect. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed the entire tournament. I hope that you also enjoyed, of course, not only the dual cast, but the games here and the commentary. If you did, make sure that you give the video a thumbs up on YouTube, drop a comment in the comment section, and guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet. We're going to see more and more Heroes of the Storm content, of course, here on the channel, so don't worry, there's going to be a lot of videos coming your way. I hope that you enjoyed it so far. The channel is growing actually quite fast, and I really like it. It's a pleasure casting these games for you. I hope that you like them. And guys, I'm going to see you next time with more Heroes of the Storm here. Have a great day. Bye-bye.